Damian Lillard. Dame requesting a trade out of Portland after 11 seasons with the organization, and Harden has opted into the final year of his contract with the Sixers, but it's being reported by our Adrian Wojnarowski that the Beard has requested to be traded elsewhere. Here's some fresh reporting from Woj. That just dropped moments ago as Blazers GM Joe Cronin explores the broader landscape. Lillard's agent, Aaron Goodwin, has been calling prospective trade partners and warning against trading for his client. Team execs told ESPN Goodwin is telling organizations outside of Miami that trading for Lillard is trading for an unhappy player. As interference goes, this is a time-honored agent maneuver to depress offers and clear a path to a predetermined destination. Okay. Stephen A., I'm going to start with you on this. What do you make of that?
Well, listen, here's the deal. Damian Lillard has earned the right to want out. More importantly, a player of his caliber has earned the right to want to go where he wants to go. And if people are going to open their mouth because they're going to sit up there and say, well, hey, you're going to give the impression that you're not going to be happy. Well, listen, they probably are not lying, but so what? Why should he want to go someplace where he's not going to be happy? Listen, he is good in Portland. He wanted them to be a better franchise. He wanted them to win. He wanted them to put the pieces in place. In Portland, you're not going to be able to go out there and recruit marquee free agents to come and play with you. So since you can't get anybody to come there, you're going to have to go elsewhere. Why shouldn't he want to go where the hell he wants to go? I mean, if you know, when you consider his love and affection for the city of Portland, how the franchise and stuff, the franchise clearly hasn't been unfair to Damian Lillard. They haven't mistreated him or anything like that. Portland Trailblazers, there's no reason to throw any shade on Portland Trailblazers. I'm just talking about their locale. The fact of the matter is nobody is interested in coming out there. There's a whole bunch of people in the NBA that would love to play with Damian Lillard.
Right.
But the point is they don't want to go to Portland in order to do it. So in order for him to pull it off, he has to go someplace else. Now, why the hell should he go someplace he don't want to go? He's 12 years in the league, all right? I'm not going someplace I don't want to go. If I'm Damian Lillard, I'm making this bag. I got the endorsements. I'm doing everything that I have done. I'm 32 years of age. I just finished averaging 32 a game. I got a legit 5 years left in my career. I'm one of the elite ballers in this league. Why am I going to go somewhere I don't want to go? Let's not act like this report is wrong and off kilter or anything like that. You damn right Damian Lillard has a preference, and he has a right to have a preference. And considering his loyalty to the Portland Trailblazers organization, they shouldn't just trade him for nothing. Don't get me wrong. They've got to get equitable compensation or something close to it. They've got to look out for the best interest of their franchise. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but you should exhaust every means and measure to appease him while doing so, because he could have caused problems years earlier and never did. I stand with Damian Lillard on that. I ain't got no problems with it at all.
Also,
Yes.
hi, Monica.
Hey, hon.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Christina. Okay, so yes, right? In a perfect world, Stephen A., just hear me out. In a perfect world, the Trailblazers honor Dame. Dame gets to Miami. They work it out. But let's not act as if we have not seen more than one time through the league an organization that doesn't look out for a player in the way that we thought that they should. Now, I'm with you. If everything works out, they should make it work. But Portland does still sort of reserve the right to do something that they believe is in the best interest of the organization going forward. And so to me, I hope that this doesn't get tense, uncomfortable, sort of nasty. But I wouldn't be shocked if in some ways Portland had to make a decision between what they believe is best for them and honoring someone who obviously will be in the Hall of Fame of that organization. I'm with you. I hope it works out for all parties involved, but I am not going to be naive about what we've seen happen in the league. That's all I got on this.
You see, Monica, Stephen A., I was going to say, this is why I believe Dame is going to inevitably end up in Portland. A couple things. Number one, if a player is already setting the tone that he's going to be unhappy, that means we've seen James Harden be unhappy. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be unprofessional, but I can't control the way Dame is going to react, Stephen A., if you trade him to a team that he doesn't want to be on now. Like, I can't control it. So if you're another GM and you're hearing that tone set by their agent, you're thinking to yourself, do I want to bring in a disgruntled employee, a guy who doesn't want to be here? Is that the right thing? Can I win him over in time? Dame, Stephen A., you talk to Dame, I talk to Dame. Dame is set in his way. Dame is like, this is who I am. If you don't like it, good luck to you. It doesn't matter. This is who I am. So that's number one. So I think that's leverage for Dame and his agent in this situation for him to end up in Miami. Number two, gone are the days, guys, where we're sitting here talking about, oh, we're going to get equitable compensation for Damian Lillard. Like, hey, you're not going to get another star player in return for Dame. You're going to get some marginal players on the end. You're going to get a lot of draft picks. And number three, Stephen A., the biggest thing for me that really bothers me, when I hear Joe Cronin, and this is a shot at the Portland Trailblazers, when I hear Joe Cronin say things at a press conference, well, we're committed to winning, and we're going to do what's in the best interest for the team. Oh, now we're committed to winning? So when we were throwing all those games at the end of the year, like that was committed to winning? So I'm confused. Like, were we committed to winning if I was Dame, if I'm loyal to your team and I'm playing through all these different things and these coaching challenges and issues around that, but now all of a sudden we're going to state that we're winning, we're committed to winning? The irony in all of it is interesting.
I wouldn't hold that against them because they tried to get them to win beyond the sweepstakes. We all know what that was about. I'm not going to hold that against them. That's happened. Listen, the Spurs did it with David Robinson. They did it again with Tim Duncan. Hell, the Boston Celtics, the great Boston Celtics, did it to get their hands on Tim Duncan back in the day, for crying out loud. So we understand that there are rare moments where you see a generational talent and you're going to make sacrifices when you know you're on a path to nowhere for the previous regular season. That's just the way that it goes. We understand that comes with it, Jay. I'm not going to hold Portland accountable for that. What I will say is this. James Harden is a different animal. And I'm not trying to throw any shade on James Harden. I think that James Harden has been a great player. I think he's an all-star caliber player, led the league in assists right now. But when we talk about character in terms of guys that, you know, they're not happy and they showcase stuff, well, James Harden had a history of doing that. Since the moment he stepped into this league, he is who he is. He stands on who he is. He gets out there. He strives the ball to the best of his ability and let the chips fall where it may. And for years, he's exhibited nothing but patience and understanding with the Portland Trailblazers, okay? So when we look at it from that perspective, if this guy, as far as I'm concerned, if the man sits up there and says, I want to go to Miami or Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the other 28 teams should receive the message. I wouldn't be happy. Because he wouldn't be happy. What's the problem?
You already know somebody thinks they can convince
That's what he's
him.
saying.
But you already know if you're Philly, you're wondering, can you convince? If you're Boston, there are organizations that think that they could potentially convince him.
So what I'm saying to you, if you've got somebody like Philly, because Philly ain't too far from Brooklyn, and on top of it all, you got Joel Embiid there. Okay, maybe you could convince him or something. That's fair game. But I'm just saying to you, the vast majority of the teams in the NBA, the brother don't want to be there. It's no crime in him saying so or indicating that. I have no problem with it. None.
Now, Monica, if Boston wanted to give up Jaylen Brown and some draft picks.
He don't want to go to Boston.
I'm out on that, though, Jay.
I'm saying if they want to give up Jaylen Brown some draft picks, Damian Lillard and Jason Tatum and Kristaps, I don't know. That might be an interesting fit.
All right, we got to leave that conversation there. Monica, you'll be back very shortly.
Portland can make a good deal with Miami. Portland can make a good deal with
It would be done already, wouldn't it?
Three-way trade.
No, if you're trying to milk even more because you ain't got a game. Figure that.
After dealing with lingering left knee discomfort since the start of the offseason, Giannis Antetokounmpo recently underwent a cleanup procedure on his knee, but the team says that the star should be ready for training camp in September. Elsewhere in the association, the Mavs and Grant Williams are finalizing a 4-year, $53 million contract as a part of a 3-team sign-and-trade agreement with the Boston Celtics and the San Antonio Spurs, sources told Woj on Wednesday. So, Stephen A., Luka gets a new teammate, but the question here is, which franchise superstar is more likely to eventually request a trade, Luka or Joel Embiid?
Well, I think it's going to be Luka, but before I get into that, let me piggyback to the Miami discussion earlier. Miami, from what I'm being told on Dame's side, Portland's talking to everybody but Miami. And Miami is the one place that Dame wants to go to. He will not go to Boston. He does not want to go there. Boston thinks they can change their mind. They won't. So Dame wants to be in Miami. They think a deal can be made with Miami, and Portland probably is just trying to get more. I don't know about that. But the bottom line is Dame wants to be in Miami, and Miami is waiting for calls from Portland, from what I'm being told. That is the situation from Dame's side. You know, I'm not. I'm just pointing that out. This is not to question anything that Woj. This is Woj. It's not to question anything he's reporting.
Right.
I'm just adding to the point that Dame side saw that report and they reached out and they have spoken. So I'm telling you, he wants to be in Miami. The Boston Celtics. He does not want to come there, and he has no intentions of coming there.
Understood. Okay. Don't you think it's feasible that Portland is taking all these calls to try to increase the value for an ask from Miami? So it's leverage. That's
what they're saying.
Yep.
They're trying to increase the ask for Miami because Dame is clear. Damian Lillard does not want to go to Boston. Figure out how I know that.
Yep.
I'll leave it at that. Okay, he doesn't want to go. I'm telling you.
I hear you.
Now,
I hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. He doesn't want to go.
I got it.
Okay, now let's move on.
Okay, but before we move on,
Hey, go ahead.
Say it again.
I want to go. Okay.
do you trust that Portland is going to put him where he wants to be? That's the part that I'm like, ooh.
I would hope so. We'll see, because Miami, obviously, Woj and those guys can get into what Miami specifically can offer.
Right.
I'm just here to tell you, Damian Lillard wants to go to Miami.
Yeah.
He does not want to go to Boston. Figure out how I know that.
Monica, I will say, though,
just saying.
if you're a free agent or a young player in the league,
You're
watching what Portland's doing right now?
Yes.
How are you going to reward his loyalty?
Okay.
Should I be loyal moving forward? So I think it speaks volumes to a team that is trying to recruit and has a hard time bringing free agents to Portland.
Right. One more piece of nugget before I move on to Luka. Damian Lillard does not want to go to Boston. Okay, I'm just telling you. Let me say that. Let me move on now. All right. Figure out how now. I just said it to you a few minutes ago. Okay.
Yes.
Why would I
I'm
say
hearing
that?
you.
All right. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.